I'm Andrew Riddington. I'm the Managing Director and owner of Organic Recycling Limited. Organic recycling is principally a composting operation. We will take somewhere in the region of 75 to 80,000 tonnes of waste a year, and that will be supplied from Lincolnshire and Peterborough County Councils, as well as from food processors and pre-packers based in and around this area. Composting is a natural process, and we need to make sure that we're looking after the environment for the bugs to go to work. So the bugs are needing air, they need moisture, they need the right particle size so we get a good density, and they need a balance between carbon and nitrogen. So our job is to create the environment to let nature do its job. We're at the beginning here, and we're taking a lot of the green waste from the county councils and we're shredding the product up so that we're getting particle sizes between 2 and 20 centimetres. We then add the fruit and the veg, which is the moisture levels and gives us the nitrogen, and then that is put into a windrow, which is a long wigwam shaped pile of waste which gives the opportunity for the bugs to go to work. Temperatures will then start to rise, which is the natural process happening, and we are looking to try and get temperatures somewhere between 45 and 55 degrees. If it goes above 55 degrees, it becomes less efficient, and that's when we turn the material. And we put a big 360 excavator onto the heap, and we literally just move it just along the concrete pad. The finished product comes out around about 16 to 18 weeks later. So here we are at the reception end of our business. This is where all of the array of products will come in to be composted. We will take in grapes, oranges and other fruits. We'll take in avocados that have either reached their sell-by date or have been condemned for other reasons by a supermarket. We will then mix them all together to make sure again that our carbon and nitrogen ratios are right, to make sure that our moisture levels are right, and the bacteria, the natural occurring bacteria, can go to work. So we produce these big heaps, and the bigger the heaps, the quicker the bacteria go to work because the temperatures rise faster. And it all has to be done on a concrete impermeable surface. The mixture is important for us to get right because if we get the carbon nitrogen ratio and the moisture levels right, we won't create so much odour and we will create a better quality product. So we're currently turning the windrows, and as a result of the temperature rising to the 60 degrees or more, we move the material down the site. The steam that's generated is as a result of the release of the heat and the captured material that needs to be expelled. Towards the latter end of the composting process, the product is now ready for screening. It's put into the hopper, and the good quality product comes out one end, and then the oversized material comes out the other end. The oversized material is then sold on to a power station and is used as fuel, and then the compost as a 20 ml product is then sold to agriculture, to local farmers. Because of the fruit and the veg that's come in, it's good on nutrient level. So it's good for nitrogen, phosphate, potash, and it has lots of trace elements. It's also quite heavy, so it works as a very good soil improver to farmlands. So while we've been composting for nearly 20 years, about 5 years ago we realised that there was an opportunity to probably do more than just composting and capture some of the energy that is lost otherwise through the process. That includes creating a biomass boiler which will burn the oversized material. That will generate some electricity, about 2 megawatts, and about 7 megawatts of heat. We're also going to build an anaerobic digester plant, and that will take a lot of the fruit and the veg away from the composting, and it will also take agricultural waste such as maize, sugar beet and hybrid ryegrass, which will be grown on farm land in and around this area. That will produce around about 3 megawatts of heat and also 3 megawatts of electricity. The electricity will be combined with the electricity we're going to be producing from 50 acres of solar to make 18 megawatts of green energy that will be going into the national grid. The heat we're going to use in glass houses. We've got planning permission to build 12 hectares of glass, and it will grow tomatoes, cucumbers, aubergines, cherry tomatoes, that sort of thing, in a controlled environment for 12 months of the year. So while most of the compost goes for agriculture and to the landscaping industry, about 10 years ago we decided to set up another business, a sister business to organic recycling, Better Land Products. And Better Land Products' job is to market the quality products into a high-end market opportunity and to run a garden nursery. And we will grow somewhere in the region of 150,000 plants using the compost that we make on site for hardy nursery stock, perennials and bulbs, grasses and trees. And we sell them to the landscape gardeners and to garden centres locally to this area. So part of the reason that Better Land Products was developed was because we saw an opportunity to provide a peat-free alternative to the national product that you'll see from the main suppliers of compost in the main supermarkets. That product is made from peat, which the government believes is from an unsustainable source, and peat-free from garden waste and from composting such as ourselves is a natural alternative that can be used and therefore saves the peat bogs from being dug up in northern England and Ireland particularly. Organic recycling, as one of the largest composting operations in the UK, has been a forerunner in composting, and we were set up before things like the Composting Association or indeed the Association for Organics Recycling or indeed the Renewable Energy Association, which is our associated body. Legislation has always been a very major part of where we try to develop our business. We look to try and see what it is that is required next. First of all, it was landfill tax. It was then about peat-free. It's now going to be about energy supply, and we need to keep on top of what's going on and try and keep one step ahead of it.